Andrea Lee and Julian Marquez lost over the weekend, and now they are no longer on the UFC roster. Andrea Lee had the longest losing streak out of active UFC fighters with 6. Now that she's gone, Tai Tuivasa has the longest active losing streak amongst fighters in the UFC with 5 losses in a row. Julian Marquez lost 4 in a row, and now he's gone. Odds for UFC 313 main card, it's pretty close. Most of the fights are pretty close on the betting lines, aside from Rufi being a pretty big favorite over Bobby Green, almost a 5-1 favorite. Main event, almost even money. Fiziev, a small favorite over Gaethje. Turner Brahmanda is almost even money. Lucindo, a slight favorite over Lemos.
This is a tough fight for Alex. Alex comes out of this the way he's come out of every other fight. He's he might be the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. The thing that people love about Alex is obviously his fighting style. Yeah. He tries to knock your head off. People love that. And this guy, he was on vacation in Australia, and a fight fell out. We needed him. He literally left vacation and came and fought. This guy will literally fight anybody, anywhere, anytime he comes in. He's pure violence, tries to knock you out, doesn't duck anybody, has moved up a weight class, is willing to move up to heavyweight and fight whoever.
John Jones also in UFC 313 is this weekend. Is he going to fight this summer? Is that the plan?
Yeah, the plan is to fight John this summer. Obviously, when, where, and all that stuff is being determined. And yeah, it's my goal this year is to make that fight.
Your goal is to make which fight, though? Tom Aspinall or somebody else?
Aspinall.
If Alex wins, could he move up and fight Jones?
He wants to. He wants to. Well, I'll have to. Let's see how this fight plays out. If he wins, how he wins, and all that kind of stuff. But the fight that everybody wants to see right now is Jones and Aspinall. And then there's no doubt that Pereira could fight the winner.
It's so hard to pick, like, because either Pereira knocks him out or he gets held down for 5 rounds and loses. I'm gonna go Pereira, just because like every fight, every round starts on their feet, and Pereira hits so hard. And I'm sure he's done stuff to try and counter some form of wrestling.
And he was talking earlier on the Ultimate Fighter said about his calf kicks. He has very good calf kicks.
Oh, mate.
He doesn't show them. He just snaps.
I say that like Ankalaev's a southpaw, maybe that affects his calf kick a little bit.
He'd have to go front leg lead for the calf kick.
Yeah, isn't he doing Ramadan? I heard a rumor that he's not going to hydrate after weighing in. With mad respect, but it's so rough.
That plays a big factor in it. That's a good point. The Ramadan.
Respect, though, all the matter.
Yeah, big respect. Big respect to you, too. Thanks for coming on the channel. Give us some picks today, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shout out to Robert Whitaker, former champ, first ballot Hall of Famer in the UFC. This guy will go down in the legend books as one of the greatest middleweights of all time.
Put that all over to
Introduced some gloves that were supposed to maybe reduce the eye pokes. They went back to the old gloves. I'm not sure how often you got to train in them. Did you feel like those were maybe better to prevent eye pokes, or were you not a fan of them as well?
Yeah, I don't even know. I fought in them once, never trained in them. I've never trained in 4-ounce gloves. You know, we have 7-ounce Onyx gloves that I train in, spar in, hip pads in. But I think there's an answer. You would have to put it on paper and have a lot of smart people sit around the table and, run through the pros and cons of different things. I don't think it was the eye pokes why they changed it. I think maybe enough people weren't getting knocked out or something, because I don't know what the case was. I'm not sure I'm not sure what made the decision to go back. I don't think either one of them we fight in open finger gloves. Like, there's no preventing eye pokes in here. At the end of the day, I think it's blatant fouls. Like hit a lot of Michael Chandler shit. Pretty much everything he does, immediate point taken away. Smoking people in the back of the head. There's things that you can do on purpose, and then there's eye pokes. Like I said, it's almost impossible to purposely poke someone in the eye. That's a very small target, and we're trying to hit each other in the head, and a lot of the times that's hard to do. So.
Former Bellator champion Yaroslav Almasov no longer with the PFL. Some people thought he'd be signing with the UFC, but he actually signed with Cage Fury Fighting Championship, which is a little bit surprising. Cage Fury 140, he's going to be fighting on that card next week, taking on former UFC fighter Curtis Millender. That's March 14th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Diego Lopez thinks if he wins the title next month against Alex Volkanovski, his first title defense will be against Movsar Evloev, but if Pitbull has a good performance against Yair Rodriguez, he could see them possibly having Pitbull fight him for the title. Kamaru Usman gets a jacket for 75 clean drug tests. Some people want him to fight Joaquin Buckley next. Joshua Van taking on Ray Saruya on Saturday. Van has the most strikes landed per minute in the UFC with 8.88. He's looking to add to that on Saturday. Saruya will be going for the takedowns and putting his undefeated record on the line. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, Part 3, Undisputed Super Lightweight Championship at Madison Square Garden in New York. That's Friday, July 11th, and it will be aired on Netflix. Pay-per-view buys for The Last Crescendo, the Better Bia versus Bivol card in Saudi Arabia, reportedly did 45,000 pay-per-view buys in the United States. The event generated $1.17 million in pay-per-view revenue. It was a cheap price for the event, $25.99 pay-per-view. The location and timing of the event in Saudi Arabia is also cited as a potential factor for lower than expected numbers. These daytime Saudi cards have reportedly done under 15,000 buys in the past. The time difference might make it inconvenient for some people in the United States to watch it live.
There is small things also. I said to you the Times Square in the 2nd of May, and there is small cards in the end of June in Alcatraz jail in San Francisco.
Any of the sports all throughout history, this has to be the only sport that has generated trillions of dollars in revenue. And at the end of the day, there's nothing there. The sport is broken and fragmented. You can't make the fights that everybody wants to see. For the first time ever, the sport is actually being invested in. Everything's being pulled into one group, and it will actually be a functioning business in the next 5 years. Never been done before, ever.
BKFC Dubai has added Hamasi versus Tello middleweight contest. They recently added Olenek versus Dos Santos. That's April 4th, day 1 of the 2-day event in Dubai.
Hola, soy Raúl Rosas, el niño problema. No se pierdan mi pelea 29 de marzo, Ciudad de México en la arena. Así que agarren sus boletos, ya están disponibles. Chiwiwi.
All right, let me get a couple sides. A couple, 3 of them. Yeah, me 3 of them. Oh, that shit spicy. Not fire, not fuck no.
Yoel Diddy Boxing Romero. Yoel fights in Diddy Boxing on the 22nd of this month in Miami, Florida. Is Alex ever going to learn English? He's been living in Connecticut for years now. From a recent clip, it looks like he speaks English pretty well. He just doesn't want to speak it. Alex Pereira making everyone quit their religion out of fear. People don't understand. You can make up for the fast days afterwards. As many commentators said, Ankalaev just laying a solid base for excuses when he gets sent to the shadow realm by a check left hook.
What's up, guys? I am hosting an MMA retreat in Colombia, May 18th through the 24th. All-inclusive retreat. Pick up from the airport. Nice accommodations. 2 training sessions a day with me and Brandon Six Gun Gibson. Meals prepared by chefs, stretching, yoga, breath work, all sorts of excursions, hiking. It's going to be beautiful. Come out, train with us. We're going to have a fantastic time. I'm going to include a link. If you're interested, come out, sign up, have a good time with us.